You know, you figure you get here early in the morning, you get a chance maybe to get a cup of coffee, you start seeing your patients, and boom, something crazy comes in.
He was a 4-year-old. He was struck by a car. He's unconscious.
Yeah, and run over.
And run over, yeah.
4-year-old Damian Martinez. His family calls him Chino.
Head, chest, and abdominal injuries.
He's just been crushed by a car in a freak accident.
You want to do everything perfect, but speed is of the essence in a case like this. Get a Doppler. Okay, let's do a femoral stick, get blood, get a femoral ABG now.
I don't feel any crepitance.
His pupils are fixed and dilated.
The boy's life is in the hands of the hospital's trauma team.
I'm thinking airway, breathing, circulation. I got to make sure they're okay.
On this shift, Dr. J.L. Hollop is in charge.
Okay, 3 milligrams of Versed.
1x4, please.
His blood pressure all of a sudden plummets. He's probably bleeding inside of his abdominal cavity. The patient could die in a matter of minutes. You have to act, find out where the bleeding is, and stop it.
To do that, the trauma team needs to get Chino to CAT scan for a special x-ray.
Hi, are you Damian's mom?
Dr. Hollop goes to talk to Chino's mother, Lazara Martinez.
First of all, I have to tell you that Damian is in very critical condition. Now listen to me. He's still alive, but he has a very serious head injury and possible chest injuries and possible injuries in his abdomen, okay?
Doctor, please, David,
We're doing
we're
special tests. Yes, he can be saved, but he is very, very sick, and there's a chance he might die.
Just a few hours earlier, Chino was with his mother as a neighbor was helping to jumpstart her car. Somehow, Chino got under the neighbor's car and was run over as the car pulled away.
His blood pressure has stabilized. We're going to take him to CAT scan.
Dr. Hollop needs to find out what is causing Chino's internal bleeding.
Let's make sure that he doesn't have a ruptured organ.
And if his head injuries will require surgery.
The chances of surviving are still slim.
The CAT scan shows multiple skull fractures.
It's a very serious head injury.
But at this point, it's not that injury that worries Dr. Hollop the most.
And the spleen has a tear that virtually never stops bleeding.
The spleen must be removed.
Realize this kid's going to the operating room, period.
You're going to see him. We're going to make sure that you get back in the room to touch and talk to him, because that's very important to the healing process, to let him know that mom is there.
Lazara is permitted a short visit with Chino before he is rushed off to surgery.
Chino, tú vas a estar bien, ¿ok? Para que salgas rápido, ¿ok? Chino.
Mom, they're going to do another shot on him. Come on outside so we don't slow him up.
Come on.
Come on. Then we'll wait outside while we move him.
Very good.
Well, right now, we're going to operate on him, explore the abdomen, remove the spleen, and hopefully we'll save his life.
Lazara, he's in good hands. Have faith, okay? Okay, let's go. Let's go over there. Come on, let's get away from here.
Okay.
Lazara.
This is pretty much an emergency prep, okay? Nothing's fancy about this. It's definitely a team effort. How are you, Rube? And personally, for me, there's my faith in God, and I count on that a lot.
Unless his team stops the internal bleeding right now, Chino could die.
Foley's not working. Get this sucker working over here. Especially with kids, you develop a kind of an emotional involvement in these things.
Hemostat?
God, it's worse for the mom, obviously.
I'm trying to be as strong as I can.
Okay.
When I first saw her, she was just shaking terribly. I'll tell her that this accident was not her fault. I'll try to help her work through the inevitable feelings of guilt she's going to have.
Another tie, please. A ruptured spleen, the patient could die from blood loss in a matter of minutes. How's the blood pressure? Good, there we go, excellent. Coming out with the spleen.
The operation lasts about an hour.
Body wall retractor. As far as his injury goes, we've controlled that, and his spleen is out and there's no significant bleeding whatsoever.
But the end of surgery is only the beginning of the real fight.
Really, post-trauma patients, the hardest part after you get them out of the operating room is the intensive care period. It's going to take a lot of work. He's still not out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination. Get set up for an A-line and a PD.
Not out of the woods because Chino still has multiple skull fractures and brain swelling.
He's out of the operating room. He does have some major significant injuries, though, and it could go either way. But we're a little bit more hopeful. The next 24 to 48 hours will give us a better idea on how things are going to go.
What would surprise you? Would anything surprise you here?
That would surprise me. If he started to wake up tonight and got 100% better, I wouldn't be surprised. If he expired tonight, I would be very sad, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It will be a night of waiting and watching.
You have to hope for the best, expect the very worst, and take what God gives you.
But when Dr. Hollop examines Chino, he makes a startling discovery.
Hi, buddy. How you doing? Huh? Wow. How you feeling, pal? Look at that.
Did he open his eyes?
Yes, he is opening his eyes all by himself.
Chino is actually coming around.
Sometimes you have to look at the book and throw it away and say, this kid looks a little better. No, but he's doing okay. He's actually doing a little better.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. He's opening his eyes all by himself. I try not to give the family too much hope because these things could just change in a minute's notice.
As for Chino Martinez,
Come on, Chino.
Where's guy go?
less than 3 weeks after nearly dying in a freak car accident,
This kid looks terrific.
Come on. Oh, beautiful.
Chino is leaving the hospital.